Guys, in the last session, we discussed about how to work with find by methods in the data JPA and how many ways we can perform operations with the table by using data JPA. Using data JPA, we can perform the operations in three ways, guys. One is by using predefined repository methods. Second one is by using find by methods. Third one is by using custom queries. Predefined methods already we have seen in the thread repository, JPA repository. There are several methods available. Using those methods, we can perform thread operations. Then, if you want to execute a query based on our requirement, then we are going to use find by methods. When you work with find by method, based on the method name, the query will be constructed. So whatever the method you write, based on the method name, JPA will prepare the query and JPA will execute that query for you. Okay, you need to be very careful when you are writing the method by using find by keyword. Find by is a fixed keyword. After that, we need to use the variable name. Based on that variable name only, query will be constructed. Then next one, we have custom queries concept. What is the meaning of custom queries? What is the meaning of custom queries? I want to write the query. JPA should execute my query. As of now, if you go for predefined methods or if you go for find by methods, JPA preparing the query for you. But now I want to prepare my query and I want to execute my query. For that, we are going to use custom queries. To write the custom queries, we need to understand we are going to use one annotation called query annotation. Okay, and the custom queries also we can write in two ways, guys. What are the two ways to write the custom queries? One is by using native SQL. Second one is by using HQL. What is the difference between native SQL and HQL? Native SQL nothing but database dependent query. Database dependent query. So they will work with only one database. If you want to change from one database to another database, then we need to modify the queries and we need to test all the functionalities again. It will take a lot of time. To overcome that problem, we are going with the HQL queries. HQL queries are database independent queries. HQL queries, we can't execute with the database directly. HQL queries we can't execute with the database directly. Those are database independent. Okay. Every HQL query should be converted into SQL query for the execution. Who is responsible to convert the HQL query into SQL query? Who is responsible to convert HQL query to SQL query? Dialect class. Dialect class is responsible to convert HQL query into SQL query. For every database, there is a SQL query available. HQL dialect class is available. Then after we discussed about SQL is better or HQL is better. Which one is better? SQL is better or HQL is better? Performance wise, SQL queries are better. Flexibility wise, HQL queries are better. Performance wise, SQL is better. Flexibility wise, HQL queries are better. Now, next we discussed about JPA repository. Okay, so what is the meaning of JPA repository? How we are having a CRUD repository, similarly we are having JPA repository which is used to perform the operations. By using JPA, we can perform the below operations. You can perform CRUD operations, you can perform sorting, you can perform pagination, you can perform query by example also. Right. So in the last session, we discussed about sort functionality. How to perform the sorting by using JPA repository. So my employee entity is available. which is mapped with a database table. Now, let me go with the repository. Employee repository is available. Can I extend the properties from JPA repository now? Yes. So my employee repository is extending the properties from the JPA repository. Now I will create one service class and I will inject a JPA repository into my service class. So I'm going to take the class name as employee service. In dot ashok id dot service is available. Employee service. Employee service, I want to represent as a string bean. For that we are using at the rate of service annotation. Employee service depends on the employee repository. So private employee repository, which is employee repo. How many ways we can perform the dependency injection? We can perform getter injection, constructor injection, field injection. Which one is recommended? Constructor. How to work with that constructor injection? Let us write one parameterized constructor and take the repository as a parameter. And do I need to write auto wiring or I no need to write auto wiring? Do I need to write the auto wiring? I no need to write the auto wiring. No need to write the auto wiring. Okay, good. Now we are able to retrieve the records by using sorting. Public void get employees. Okay, I'm writing one method, get employees method, to get all the records available in the employee table. So can you tell me how to retrieve all the records available in the employee table? What is the query for that? What is the method for that? Employee repository dot find all, which is going to return employees. Employees dot for each. You can use system dot out colon println. It will retrieve all the records available in the table and it is going to print those records on the console. Now go to start class and get the service object and call the service method. How to get the object from IOC container? What is the method to get the object from the IOC container? Context dot get bean of employee service. Context dot get bean of employee service dot class. So I'm getting my target object, which is my employee service. Then we will call service dot get all the employees. Service dot get all the employees, which will retrieve all the records from the table and will print on the console. Now you see this. We are getting all the records from the table and we are going to print those records on the console. Now currently the records are coming like this: 4,000, 5,000, 5,000, 7,000. Ashok, John, Smith, Robert is available. Now, can I sort the records based on the salary or based on some other conditions? Can we do sorting of our records, guys? Can we do the sorting of our records? Yes. So how to apply sorting? Okay. Select star from employee. 4,000, 8,000, 5,000, 7,000 records are available. I want to sort the records. Can you tell me how to perform the sorting now? For the find all method, you can pass the sort object. For the find all method, you can pass the sort object. How to pass the sort object? Sort dot by. What is the variable name on which you want to sort? Ascending or descending? Go to employee. Based on the salary, I want to sort it. Employee salary. Sort by employee salary, which is used to sort the records. It is used to sort the record. Alright, go to application, run as boot application. Now you can see the query will be prepared with the sort by, order by. When you say sort, that is going to apply order by in the query. We are able to sort the records by using sort functionality. That sorting we are able to use because of JPA repository. Then next one, let's talk about what is pagination. Let's talk about what is pagination. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of a pagination? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of a pagination, guys? What is the meaning of a pagination? The process of dividing records, the process of dividing records into multiple pages is called as pagination. In our database table, assume that there are 10,000 records available. Is it recommended to display all the 10,000 records in one page? No, people will not use that. If you are displaying 10,000 records in one page, people will not interest to read the data. So that's why we need to divide the records into the process of dividing records into multiple pages is called pagination. Okay. Now, example, if we have 1 lakh records in table, if we have 1 lakh records in table, it is not recommended. It is not recommended to display 1 lakh records in single page. 1 lakh records in single page. If we have 1 lakh records in table, it is not recommended to display 1 lakh records in the single page. Okay, that's where we are going to implement pagination. We have seen example Gmail. Gmail will display 50 records in inbox. You have so many emails in your Gmail, but assume that you have 2,000 emails in the Gmail, but Gmail will display only 50 emails for you. If you want more than that, go to the next page, get the next 50 records. Okay, and if you go for Flipkart, will display only 24 mobiles in one page. Will display 50 records in single page. Flipkart will display 24 records in one page. Okay, so like this, in every application, pagination concept will be available, which is used to divide the records into multiple pages and display those records here. Are you able to follow me? So here the process of dividing records into multiple pages is called pagination. If we have 1 lakh records in the table, it is not recommended to display all the 1 lakh records in one page. So we need to in real time, we need to implement pagination in the application. We need to implement pagination in our application. Okay. So the example of pagination that I have shown you, in the Gmail, 50 records will be displayed in the inbox. In the Flipkart, 24 records will be displayed in the one page. So let us go to that. Let us go to Flipkart application. Let us go to Flipkart application and let us see how many mobiles they are having and how many mobiles they are going to display. Okay. So I'm going with some mobiles. Let me click on this. Mobiles. So total there are 9,000 mobiles available in the Flipkart. So total if you see, there are 9,000 products available in the Flipkart. But what they are doing now? Showing only 1 to 24. Only 24 mobiles are coming. If you go down, there will be page numbers. Second page, if you go, click on number 2, then they will give you from 25 to 48. Next to 24 records they are displayed. So this concept is called pagination. How to implement this pagination in the data JPA? So first of all, to implement pagination, we need to decide what is the page size. How many records you want to display in one page, that you need to decide first. How many records you want to display for one page? For example, my application is having 10 records, guys. Assume that in my table there are 10 records available. In my table there are 10 records available. Now, those 10 records we need to display in multiple pages. The very first thing that you need to understand, page size. The first thing that we need to understand, page size. So that means how many records you want to display in one page, and the next one, total pages. Total, how many pages are required to display our records? Page size I am giving and total pages we need to identify. So what is the calculation? So the calculation they are going to do here, total records divided by total records. Total records available in the table divided by page size will give you total pages. Okay, this is the formula that is going to applicable. So in my database, 10 records available. For one page, I want to display 3 records. For example, page size I am giving as 3. What is the meaning of page size 3? In one page, I want to display only 3 records. Then to display 10 records, how many pages are required? 30. 4 pages are required. Okay, I have 10 records in the table. Per page, I want to display only 3 records. Okay, 3 records I want to display in one page. So total, how many pages required to display the data? First page 3 records, second page 3 records, third page 3 records, one record is extra, that will go to the fourth page. So total pages will be calculated based on total records available in the table and what is the page size. Based on that, they will calculate total pages required for our data display. Total records, how many records available in the table? How many records you want to display in one page? So if you take the page size is equal to 5, then what will happen? How many pages are required? 2 pages. First page 5 records, second page 5 records. First page 5 records, second page 5 records. Suppose if I give page size as 10, how many pages are required? Only one page is required to display the data. So in the data JPA, when you go for pagination, they will do the calculation like this. Total how many records available in the table and what is the page size of the customer requirement and total how many pages are required. Total records divided by page size is equal to total pages. If a remainder is 0, no problem. If the remainder is not 0, plus 1 we need to add. Now I am taking 10. 10 records available, page size is 10. That means only one page is required. Okay. Suppose I have 10 records, page size is 3. Then what I need? 3 plus 1 I need. 10 by 3. 3 we are going to get, but remainder is not 0. If the remainder is 0, that is fine. If remainder is not 0, plus 1 we need to add. If total records are 10, I want 5 records per page, then 2 pages are required. So based on total records and based on total records, based on page size, the pagination will happen in the data JPA. Are you able to follow me? So as a customer, we need to decide what is the page size for our application. How many pages we need and how many records we need to display in one page that we need to apply here. Are you guys able to follow me? Are you guys able to follow me? Yes. Now, how to implement this pagination in the data JPA? Okay, let me remove this. So if you use only find all method, then what is happening? All the records we are getting. Now, let me insert few more records in the table. Let me insert few more records. 5 country, something like Germany, female, completely 9,000. I'm inserting one record from the table directly. 5 records available. 6th record, USA, female, Kathy. then seventh one, Canada, need, yeah. Yeah, guys. So total there are 8 records available in my table. So total there are 8 records available in my table. Now I want to retrieve the records based on the pagination. Okay. When I use find all method, I'm getting all the records from the table. So when you don't want to get all the records, you need to use pagination. Okay. Page request dot of. What is the page number and what is the page size? So here I'm going to take integer page number, comma, integer page size. So page number we are going to pass and page size we are going to, right? It is going to create the page object. Now, what is the return type of this? Page request object we got. Then let us pass page request object to find all method. Let us pass page request object to our find all method. Pageable object we are going to take here. That pageable object we are passing to find all method to list of employees. Then we are getting pageable of employee, then employees dot get stream of employees dot per page. So earlier we are calling only find all method directly. Now for the find all method, I am passing my pageable object. I'm telling to the data JPA how many records I want for one page and which page data I want. Do you want first page data or do you want second page data, third page data? That we need to tell here. Okay, page number, page size. So if you go to the Flipkart, whenever you click on page number 1, whenever you click on page number 1, first 24 records it is going to give you. So you see what they are sending here. Page number is a dynamic value. Page is equal to 1. When I go and click on page number 2 here, when I click on page number 2, then change it. Page is equal to 2. So page number they will take from the UI. But what about the page size? Page size customer will decide or project will decide. Page size is a fixed value. Page number will change from the UI. Okay. User may click on page number 1. User may click on page number 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Page number will come from the UI and page size is a fixed value. Okay. Now, so here I'm going to create one object called pageable object page request dot of page number comma page size. Page number will represent which page data you want. Page size will represent how many records you want to display in the page. How many records you want to display in the page that you are going to supply. So now, page size, you no need to pass it dynamically. That is a fixed value. Can I take one variable? Private, static, final, integer, page size is equal to 3. Now, I can take the page size as a fixed value. In my project always, page size is 3. Page size is 3. 3 records I want for one page. Which page records you want, that you can pass as a page number. Clear? Now, go and call get em page number I am passing as 1. What is the meaning of 1? First page data we want. First page data means first 3 records or next 3 records. 3 records. Total how many records available? required. How many pages are required? 3 pages are required. First page 3 records, second page 3 records, last page 2 records will be available. Let us observe. When I pass the page number as 1, what is happening? Go to application, run as boot application. Run as boot application. See the query. Query how it is constructing. Okay. Query is constructed and first 3 records are giving or middle 3 records are coming. No. 1, 2, 3 coming or 4, 5, 6 is coming. 4, 5, 6 is coming. What is our expectation? 1, 2, 3 records should come. But why 4, 5, 6 records are coming? No. Here, for end user, page number will start from 1. For end user, page number will start from 1. For a database, it will start from 0. Are you getting my point? So, whenever you are having 8 records, I am having 8 records, guys. Okay. Now let me take the numbers 1 to 8. Yeah, these are the 8 records are available. Now, for us, this is the first page, and this is the second page, and this is the third page. Total 8 records are available. What we will consider, this is page number 1, and this is page number 2, and this is page number 3. This is our expectation. But in the database, they will consider this as 0, page number 0, and page number 1, page number 2. For the database, it is starting from 0, but for the programmer, it is starting, for the user, it is starting from 1. So whatever the page number we are getting from the UI, for that page number, we will apply -1. That's it. If they give 1, 1 minus 1, 0. Page number will start from 0. If they give page number as 2, 2 minus 1, it will become 1. If they give page number 3, 3 minus 1, it will become 2. For end user, page number will start from 1. But for the data JPA, page number will start from 0. Whatever the page number coming from the UI, just apply -1 for that. Are you clear? So if you give page number as 1, if you give page number as 1 from the UI, what will happen? 1 minus 1. That will become 0. That is the first page data. First 3 records only will come. When you give page number as 2, 2 minus 1. 1. Second page data. So for end user, starts from 1. For programmer, starts from 0. Are you clear? Now, so I am giving page number as 1. 1 minus 1. Page size is a fixed value. I'm taking as 3. Now run the application. Run as boot application. When you call find all method, you are getting all the records from the table without pagination. Now I have implemented pagination. Limit is applied. Now see which 3 records are coming. Which 3 records are coming now? First 3 records are coming. That is called pagination. I'm not going to retrieve all the records available in the table. I'm not going to retrieve all the records available in the table. I want to retrieve only 3 records per page. I want to get only 3 records per page. Now I want to get the second page data. I want to get the second page data. To get the second page data, what I will supply? Page number 2. In the background, 2 minus 1. Now, right click, run as boot application. Run as boot application. Go to console. Now, check this. Okay, which records are coming now? Middle. 1, 2, 3 coming to first page. 4, 5, 6 coming to second page. Now I want to get the third page data. Page number 3. Page number 3 means 3 minus 1. So second page data. 0th page, first page, second page. Run this application. Run as boot application. Okay. Now look at this one. Are we able to get the last 2 records? First page 3 records, second page 3 records, last page 2 records only we have. So like this we are going to implement pagination in the data JPA. We are going to implement pagination in the data JPA. What is the meaning of a pagination? What is the meaning of a pagination? Dividing the total number of records into multiple pages is called pagination. My table is having 1 lakh records. It is not recommended to get all the 1 lakh records at a time. Get the records based on the pagination. You decide page size of your application. Either 3 or 5 or 10, whatever you want, you can specify as a page size. Page number you take from the UI. Based on that you get the data. Page number, comma, page size. How to pass that pagination data to data JPA? Find all method. If I don't pass the parameter, what will happen? All records will be true. I don't want all. I don't want pagination. So page request dot of page number, comma, page size. Why with -1? Why with -1? JPA consider from 0, user will consider from the 1. One user select 1 means for us it is 1 minus 1. If user select 2, it is 2 minus 1. If they select 3, 3 minus 1. Are you clear with my point? Yes. We are able to implement sorting as well as pagination also. Yes. Yeah, we can apply. When you go for find all method, combinations are available. Find all method with the pagination. With the pagination, sorting is not applicable. There is no method which will take both as a parameter. You can go with only pageable. You can go with the example, comma, pageable. You can go with only example, only sorting, example, comma, sorting. Pagination plus sorting combination method not available. That is not there as a predefined method. If you want sort, then is your own logic you need to write. Are you clear? What is the purpose of this one? In the real time, guys, currently we are learning only data JPA, and that too, it is a standalone application. There is no web page. When you will get full clarity on the pagination, if you implement a web application, in that web application, if you implement data JPA, then you will get the full clarity on that. So when you are working with the data JPA in the class now, 100% clarity you may not get because they are understanding the concept. So we are not doing the real implementation. What is the meaning of real implementation? Take one web application. In that web application, you implement the data JPA concept, then you will get the full clarity on the concept. Now I will show you. So in our Ashok IT website, I have implemented pagination, guys. Okay. So currently it is in the testing phase only. Let me open this one. Yeah, I logged in into my application, guys. Here there is a concept of daily leads concept is available. How many inquiries we have in the web application? How many records available? But how many records are displaying now? Page size is what? 5. If I select a page size as 30, that means page size also I can change it dynamically. When I go for daily leads in our project, so page size what is displaying? 5. 5 records I want for 1 page. So total, how many records are available? 24 records are available. So how many pages now? You see how many numbers are coming now? 5 pages are coming. If I click on number 2, then second page data is coming. When I click on next, third page data is coming. I want to change the page size from 5 to 30. If I change the page size to 30, then what will happen? All the records will be displayed in the single page only. Sorry, daily leads. So change the page number from 5 to 30. Then what happened? All the 24 records are coming in the single page only. And if you go to another one, registered in June, total how many records available? Total how many records available now? 323 records are available in the table. You can see total 323 records available in the table. How many records we are displaying for 1 page? If I go for 30, okay, then 30 records are coming per page. So when I click on next one, the page numbers are changed. Now you see here, total 11 pages are coming. 11 into 30. 330. Total how many records available? 320. So 11 pages are required to display all the 300 records in our application. So in the real time, we need to implement a pagination like. We need to implement pagination like. So if you go for UI, if you implement with the web application, then only you are going to get the full clarity on the implementation. If we are learning data JPA like this, if you are learning data JPA like this, concept you will understand, but implementation is a confusion. Because we are developing what kind of application? Standalone application we are developing. When you will get full clarity, when you develop a web application, if these concepts in the web application, then you will get the full clarity on the application. Are you able to follow me? Yes. What is JPA repository? This is the pagination that I have implemented in our Ashok IT website. Backend is Spring Boot, front end Angular. So this project has taken almost 6 months of time for me. In the Ashok IT website, there is a lot of functionalities in the background. Okay, so if I log out from here and if I log in with my admin credentials, so many functionalities will be available in the background. Okay, how many students are joined, how to do the batch scheduling, new batches scheduling, conducting a free workshop, okay, and adding the interview questions in the website and user response, how many inquiries we are getting per day, in our website from the front office team, notification. I want to send the bulk SMS for the people to the WhatsApp directly. So whatever the data is there in the website, if I click one button, all our students will get a WhatsApp message from our website. So batch wise, suppose for example, I want to send the notification on the batch wise. Ashok running batches 1 core Java. Select the WhatsApp message. For this batch, I want to send one WhatsApp message. Okay. So these functionalities I have implemented in the background and uploading the banners. In the front application, you can see the banner. I can add the banner. I can activate the banner. I can deactivate the banner. So like this, all the functionalities we are having in our backend. Adding a course. Okay, this is the course available. In the course, what are the modules? Adding the trainers. What is the payment we are making for the trainer? So there are so many functionalities available in our website in the background. So that's why it took 6 months of time for me. And when you go and click on register here, immediately you will get a message to your WhatsApp number saying that please confirm your account. And you will get an email from the website, your account is created. When account is created, am I asking the user to enter the password? So when you create the account in the website, password will be generated by my project, password will be sent to your email. My application will create the password, my application will send the password to your email. To verify your mobile number, my application will send a OTP to your WhatsApp number. All these functionalities I have implemented. From last 6 months I worked on this project. When I am free, for the Saturday, Sunday, when I have some free time, I will implement some functionality in the project. Okay, still my project is in the testing phase only. Okay, so I told you, still I am working on this project, some functionality, some bugs are there. Whatever I have implemented, there are some bugs available. I'm testing on those, I'm fixing those bugs. Are you clear? When you go to here, forget password. If you enter some email ID, click on submit. No record available with the given email ID. So if I really have a record, something like this. If I click on submit, now you see it is taking some time. Then it will send an email for you to reset your password. Reset password link sent to your registered email ID. So complete the things are automated in the website. Okay. So in this I have implemented a pagination. Just now I have shown you. When you log in, registered in the Zoom. When people register in the Zoom report will upload in the website for followers. So there are total 323 records available. Am I displaying 323 records in one page? No. Why? People will not get interest to see that much data in the single page. People will not get the interest to see that much data in the single page. So that's why I have implemented pagination in the project. And whenever they want to change the status, when they click on this, a pop-up is open. In the pop-up, they can change the status as closed and save. Status is updated. You should know all these kind of implementations. In the real time, these kind of requirements will be given to you. Nobody will help you. You need to do the things on your own. You need to do the things on your own. Sir, whether you are working on e-commerce application, banking application, healthcare, that doesn't matter. Technically, are you able to develop the code or requirement can, if you go for any application, only card operations will be available. Retrieve the data, insert the data, update the data, delete the data. Apart from that, nothing. But logic implementation is important. That you need to improve. Whenever I give some task, you should be able to develop that task on your own. That is the concept. Are you clear? Good. And next one, we are able to understand what is the sorting and we are able to understand what is pagination. So I hope you got the clarity. What is the pagination? What is the pagination? Convert multiple records into pages, right? So this is my service class. In this, I have implemented page. Am I doing any changes to my repository? Or there are no changes to the repository? Just I am extending the properties from the JPA repository. I'm just extending the properties from the JPA repository, and I am creating one method. Find all method I am calling. For the find all method, what I am passing? Page request object I am passing. What is the return type? Page of employee. That means which page number you are passing, that page data will come in the form of page object. Page dot get. Page dot get. You are going to get that particular page data. If you call direct find all method, it is going to retrieve all the records available in the table. If you call direct find all, it will get all the records available in the table. Are you able to follow me? Able to follow me? Is this clear? Good. Next one, query by example, guys. Yes, sir. You want to page number 0 means first one. 0 means starting. 0 minus 1. Minus 1. I think it will not take minus 1. Let's try. Get employees of 0. 0 minus 1. But from the front end, we don't accept 0 first of all. Exception. Illegal argument. Page index is not found. Must be less than 0. Greater than 0, right? They are giving wrong message. But must not be, page index must not be less than 0. Yeah, 0 is the max value that we can correct only. It should not be less than 0. Minus 1 means less than 0. It should be 0 or greater than. Okay, good. Next one, query by example. Next one, query by example. Okay. What is the meaning of query by example? Now, it is used to construct query based on filter conditions. Okay. Now, my requirement is I want to search mobiles based on the brand name. When I select the brand as a filter, based on the brand name, mobile should come. When I select RAM, brand name plus RAM, based on the two conditions, I have to filter the data. So when you want to implement some dynamic filters to search the data, then you can go for query by example. So I don't want to execute always the same query. Select star from mobiles. What is the meaning of this? All. But users always will retrieve all the mobiles in the Flipkart. Users will filter the mobiles. Total there are 9,000 records available. When I select a brand as Samsung, what happened now? Select star from mobiles where brand is equal to Samsung. But is it guaranteed? Always they will select a brand. Will you think that everybody will select brand to filter the mobile? Brand is not important for me. RAM is important for me. Okay? I will go and select the RAM size as 4 GB. RAM size as 4 GB. In this 4 GB, I want the Realme mobile. Then I'm selecting 2. So here, can you write a fixed query to retrieve the data? In this scenario, can you write a fixed query to retrieve the data? You cannot write a fixed query to retrieve the data. You cannot write a fixed query to retrieve the data. Why? Conditions are changing. Users may select different conditions to retrieve the data. That means based on condition, query should be prepared dynamically. Whatever the condition you select, based on the condition, query should be prepared dynamically. To prepare the dynamic query, you need to go for a concept called query by example. Go for a concept called query by example. It is used to construct a dynamic query based on filter condition. Find by method is available, but in the find by method, static query. Conditions are fixed. Find by employee salary greater than some value. Find by employee salary less than some value. But my requirement, query should be generated based on the condition. For that, we are going to use query by example. Now, so how to work with the query by example? Public void get employees with the QB. Get the employees with the QB. What is the meaning of QB? Query by example. Okay, now let me write employee repo dot find all. It is giving list of employees for us. Yeah. Get employees with the QBE. Get employees with the QBE. Now let me run this. Run as boot application. I am not passing any condition. Just I am calling find all method. Then what happened? Retrieving all the records. Now, I don't want to retrieve like this. I want to retrieve the records based on the employee gender, based on the employee country. Okay, dynamically I want to construct the query. Now, if you see, when I call find all method, what is the query is executing? Select star from employee. Any condition is available or condition is not available? Condition is not available. Now, go to the service. I'm taking my entity class as a parameter. I'm taking my entity class as a parameter. Now, if you want to prepare the query dynamically, example, Spring Framework domain example dot of em. Now, this example I will pass as a parameter to find all method. How we are passing page object as a parameter. Now I am passing example object as a parameter, which is giving example, EMP example. Now observe. I'm taking my entity class object as a parameter for my method. That employee entity I am passing to example.of method. It is giving an example object. Example means query by example. That example object I am passing to my find all method. If you don't pass this, what is the meaning of that? If I don't pass my example object, then it is going to retrieve all the records available in the table. If you pass the example object, in the example, we are setting the entity. In this entity, if any column, if any variable having the value, that variable will be added to the where condition. Okay? If your entity is empty, then all the records you will get. If your entity contains some data, that will be appended to the where clause. Now go to here. application.java. Now I'm creating employee object. Employee emp is equal to new employee. Entity object I'm creating, passing as a parameter. So this entity contains any data or there is no data? There is a data or there is no data? Hey, this is empty object, right? There is a data, there is no data. No data. Run as boot application, no data. Right. Go to the console. Then what happened? It is something like a find out. Whatever the entity I am passing, in that entity there is no data available. There is nothing to filter the data. It is retrieving all the records. Now, for this entity, I will set the data. emp dot set country. I will set the country as India. Now I am passing entity as a parameter. The entity which variable having the value? In the entity which variable having the value? Country. Then what will happen? Select star from employee and country is equal to it. So which is variable having the data? That the variable will be added to where clause. If you pass entity without data, that means your entity contains a filter data. In the entity, you need to set the filter data. We are passing entity object as a parameter to the method. In that entity object, we are creating an example object. Example object we are passing to the find all method. Whatever the entity you are passing to the example, if that entity contains any variable value, that variable will be added to the where condition. If the entity does not contain the data, then it will retrieve all the records. Now, I'm setting employee country as India. Okay, in my entity, there are multiple variables available. Only country variable contains the data. Then right click, run as boot application, check the query. Check the query. Then what happened now? Country is added to the where condition or not. Am I writing the query or they are preparing the query? They are preparing the query based on the query by example. Now, I want to set the gender also. Okay, employee dot set the employee gender. Okay, then I will set male. Then what will happen? In the entity, how many variables are having the data? Two variables are having the data, country and gender. Then what JPA will do now? Select the star from employee, where country is equal to India and gender is equal to one is boot application. Now can you see? It is retrieving the data based on the two conditions. Country is equal to given value, gender is equal to given. So whatever the data you set, based on that query will be prepared. The Flipkart, same concept. If you select a brand, based on the brand, the data will be retrieved. If you select a brand plus a RAM, based on that data will be retrieved. Okay? Whatever the condition you select, based on the condition, query preparation is changed. Can I say it is a fixed query or a dynamic query? Dynamic query. How the query will be prepared? Based on the data available in the entity. In the entity, if there is no data, in the entity, if there is no data, all the records. If I set only country to the entity, based on the country. If I set country and gender, based on the country and gender, the data will be ready. So what is query by example? It is used to filter the data by constructing the query dynamically. Query construction depends on the data that we are passing to the entity also. If your entity does not contain any data, all the records will retrieve. If your entity contains the data for the variable, then it will construct the query with the conditions. Are you able to follow? Now, this also I have implemented in the project. So in our application, daily leads are available. Now, in the daily leads, I want to see only closed leads. Okay, click on select status as closed, click on filter. Then which leads are coming now? Total how many leads available? Total how many leads available? 20. So this is institute website. People will come for the course inquiry. So the people who come for the course inquiry, their status will open. If they do the enrollment for the course, that means it is closed. Some people has done the inquiry in our institute, but they joined in the other institute. That is the last inquiry. When you come to assignment for inquiring a course, my employee will take your data, will enter in the website. For your inquiry, status is 3 times: open, close, lost. Open means you have done the inquiry, you want to attend the demo. If you do the payment, the lead is closed. And if you join the other institute, if you come for inquiry here, but you get to other institute to join the code. This is a last inquiry. So my employees will go there, will check the data. So the leads which are open, click on open, select the status as open. Initially, when you go for this page, what is happening? All the leads are coming. All the 24 leads are coming. I want to see closed leads. Okay, select the status as closed, click on filter. Closed leads are coming. This closed leads created by multiple employees. I want to see the closed leads of particular person, particular counselor. Counselor name I will select, click on filter. The data is filtering dynamically. So is it a static query or it is a dynamic query? So initially, when you go for daily lead page, counselor's daily leads, all the records are coming. When you select counselor Shilpa, click on filter, Shilpa created inquiries are coming, status is open. How many inquiries closed by Shilpa? Click on filter, one lead is closed by Shilpa. And which course inquiry? Java full stack, Shilpa closed leads I want to check. Any Python full stack inquiries closed by Shilpa like this I want to filter the data. UI full stack. Actually record should not count. That is what some bugs are available. I'm fixing those bugs. Filter is not working correctly now. Okay, so now it is working. When I select the course name, the filter is working. When I select only category, the filter is not working. If I click on UI full stack, React JS, Shilpa closed links, nothing is coming. If I select Java full stack, core Java, Shilpa closed links, record is coming. If I select the status as lost, now no records formed. So the data is getting filtered based on the conditions. So here, static query or a dynamic query. And one more thing, registered in the June. How many records are coming? 323. Status closed. Filter. Now here filter is not working. So these are some bugs available. Now with the Flipkart, we are able to see the filter. That is a dynamic query. So based on the filter conditions, our data should come based on the condition. So whatever the filter you select, based on that, query should be executed dynamically. So that is called query by example. In the find by method also, query constructing dynamically. In the query by example also, query constructing dynamically. What is the difference? When to go with find by example, when to go with query by example. Find by methods, query by example. Find by is a fixed condition. Always select star from brand. Always, but is there any guarantee that always brand will come? So when you have web page with a dynamic filter, user can select brand name, user can select RAM, user can select the screen type, user can select the battery size, user can select the SIM type. If you have multiple conditions to filter the data, then you need to go for query by example concept. If you have fixed conditions to retrieve the data, then find by methods you can do. So with this we are able to understand what is JPA repository and how to work with the JPA repository. This is the example, okay, by using query by example. Query by example is used to construct a dynamic query based on the filter conditions, right? So whatever the entity we are passing, based on entity data, based on entity object data, based on entity object data, query will be created. Query will be created. If an entity does not contain any data, then all the records will be. Are you clear? And one more thing. Most of the people will do mistake like this. Here I am taking integer. Here I am taking integer. Some people will take as an int. Some people will take it as an int. What is the difference between int and integer? Integer primitive type. Integer is a wrapper type. Okay. Suppose if I take this data type as an int, your logic is going to become wrong. So it is, I'm using a primitive data type, go to application, I'm not setting any data. For my entity, I'm not setting any data. If I don't set any data to the entity, what should happen? My entity is empty now. My entity is empty. What records it has to retrieve? I'm using query by example. What is the meaning of query by example? What concept we are learning now? What concept we are learning now? Query by example. What is the meaning of query by example? Retrieve the records from the table based on the conditions. How conditions will identify? Based on the entity data. I'm passing entity with data or entity without data. See here. Is there any data for the entity? Can I say it is an empty object? Empty object. There is no data. In the entity, if there is no data, then what should happen? Come on, man. I am creating entity object. I am not setting any data. Can I say it is an empty object? Yes. If it is an empty object, for my example, what should happen? All the records should be retrieved. Check this. Run as boot application. Am I getting all the records? I am not getting any record. Not getting any record. See the query. Am I setting the employee ID? I am not setting the employee ID. Come on, see the query. Employee ID going in the where condition. But if you see, am I setting the employee ID? I am not setting the employee ID. Then why it is going? Should not go right. Not setting the employee ID. But why employee ID going to the query? Because of primitive data type. Because of primitive data type. When your data type is a primitive, default value 0. What is the primitive data type default value? It is a default value 0. Even though I am not setting the employee ID, when the employee object is created, ID will be initialized with the 0. If we are thinking that I'm setting the employee ID 0, trying to retrieve the records based on the employee ID 0. If the employee ID 0, is there a record available? There is no record available. But if I don't set employee ID, it should be in the where condition, it should not be in the where condition. That is the mistake. You should not use primitive data types for the entity. If you use primitive data type for the entity, this is the problem. You are not setting any data to the entity, but still employee ID is added to the where condition. Suppose if I remove the primitive type, if I add the wrapper class, what is the default value of the wrapper class? Null. When the wrapper class default value is null, JPA will not consider that value. JPA will not consider null value. JPA will not consider null value. Then what happened? Then what is happening now? All the records are coming. Now, so is it recommended to use primitive data types in the entity. Not recommended to use primitive data types in the entity. Recommended or not recommended? Not recommended. Why not recommended? If you use the primitive data type, it will take the default value. With that, it will prepare a dynamic query with the condition. But which we don't want. So that's why always we need to go with the wrapper classes when we are working with the entity. Suppose if I take the salary, some people will take it as a double. Default value of double 0.0. So if you don't set the data for the entity, still it will take the salary as a condition. Where the salary is equal to 0.0. There is no record available. Then we will not get any record from the data. So that's why don't use primitive data types in the entity classes. If you use the primitive data types unnecessarily, default values will be used and queries will be changed. If query is changed, our data will not come properly. So that's why go in the wrapper class. What is the default value for the wrapper class? Null value. If the entity having null variable, then JPA will not consider that and will retrieve all the records from the table. Are you clear with my point? Yes. So with this we understood what is the purpose of JPA repository and why we need to go for JPA repository. So tell me, what is the JPA repository? Why we need to go for JPA repository? JPA is a predefined interface which is used to perform operations in the database. So thread repository already available, but why we are going for JPA repository? Thread repository will provide the functionality only to perform the thread operations. Okay, only to perform the thread operations. Are you clear? Good. But in the JPA repository, thread operations plus sorting plus pagination plus query by example. What is the meaning of sorting? Order by. Sort the data in the ascending or descending. Pagination. What is the meaning of pagination? Based on the conditions, we need to divide the records into multiple pages. Right? Instead of displaying all the records in one page, we are going to divide the records into multiple pages. Okay. The next one, query by example. What is the purpose of query by example? Come on. What is the query by example? Query by example, which is used to create the query dynamically. So based on the entity data, queries will be constructed. Okay. If your employee having no data, then all the record. If the employee having country, then based on country. Country plus gender, both it is going to apply. Why it is not recommended to use primitive data types in the entity classes? Because of the default value, unnecessarily conditions will be added to the query. So always we need to use wrapper classes for the entity types. Okay, for entity variables, always we need to take the wrapper classes. Don't take the primitive. Is this clear? Right. Can I give an assignment now? When I am adding country and gender. When I am adding country and gender, what is the query it is preparing? Select star the employee where country is equal to India, gender is equal to male. But now I want country India or gender male. You got my point? By default, query by example is doing what operation? AND operation. If I am setting two values, AND operation. I want OR operation. Can you do that? Or I want to retrieve the employees in the India having salary greater than 5,000. If I set the employee salary like this, EMP dot set the employee salary 5,000 I am going to set. What it will do now? How the query will be made now? Select the star from employee where country is equal to India, gender is equal to male. and salary is equal to 5,000 only. And my requirement, salary greater than or equal to 5,000. You understand the requirement? So assignment is that for you. Right? QB, right? Develop data JPA application. Develop data JPA application to retrieve employees based on below conditions. Okay? Employees, male employees belongs to India having salary greater than or equal to 5. You understand my requirement? Develop data JPA application to retrieve employees based on below conditions. What is the condition? Retrieve male employees belongs to India having salary greater than or equal to 5. So you do the research and you tell me how to retrieve. That is the task for you. Okay? Good. Develop data JPA application to retrieve employees based on the conditions. Condition, you need to retrieve male employees belongs to India. Male employees belongs to India having salary greater than or equal to. How to do it? Whether you need to go to the. And I don't want find by way. I don't want find by way. Research on the query by example. Okay. And yesterday I have given one task for you. Perform CRUD operations with the custom queries. Are you able to do that? Insert, update, and delete by using custom HTML. Insert. How many of you done that? Are you sure? Are you sure? Did you complete yesterday assignment? That is what I'm asking. How many of you yesterday I have explained what is custom query? I gave you a task. Implement insert plus update plus delete using custom query. This is the assignment I'm asking. Did you complete this assignment or not? You completed you. Why? Right. So I want you to complete these two assignments today. Yesterday I have given one task and today I have given one task. You have to complete these tasks by using data group. Okay? They will approve. Good. Any other questions, anyone? No questions? Example, it is to prepare that. That is what we are learning from last half an hour. Query by example, it is used to prepare query dynamically. This is query by example. If you pass entity object to the example, if your entity contains data, query will be prepared dynamically. If your entity does not contain the data, all the records will go to. It is used to implement a filter condition. Dynamic filter. Select mobiles based on the brand name, based on the RAM, like that. So when you are selecting the filter, the query will be constructed by JP. Query by example comes. JPA only. Data domain. Good. Thank you. With this I'm stopping. We'll meet in the tomorrow session.
Hello, sir.
Online students, any
Hello,
questions,
sir.
anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, please change mic, sir.
They are
Yes, sir.
so
Please change mic, sir. We have faced very issue, sir.
Yes,
Okay, okay. Tomorrow I
whenever
will
I
take.
go for recorded video, your voice is slow and breaking, sir. And
Sure, sir.
live class also, sir.
I will do that, sir.
And background noise.
Hello, I have something to ask.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, tell me what is your question?
Yeah, like we have just provided value like parameter for one value. Suppose we have a range of values, suppose for the date from this date to that date. So even though we can work out with this,
Yes, sir. You can implement that the dates also.
okay, fine. I will try and check this out.
Yeah,
Thank you.
try the assignment. If you try the assignment now, then you
Yeah,
will understand how to add the dates also.
all right, right. I will try that. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Any other questions, anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, why we don't need to take a predefined like hint? Whenever you explain, your voice is breaking, sir. Please, once again.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow I will show you once again. If you take the primitive type, na, it will take the default value. So unnecessarily the queries will be modified with the default values. That's why we need to take the wrapper classes.
Oh,
Even if you don't set the data for that, na, primitive type will take the default value and query will be constructed with the condition. Suppose, for example, employee ID. If you take int, 0 will come as a default value. Select star from employee where ID is equal to 0, it will try to retrieve. That's why you need to take the wrapper classes. When you take the wrapper classes, default value null. Null values will be ignored by the data JPA.
oh.
Okay. Thank you, guys.